Now that you learned how to create a visual report in the previous training video, we're going to learn how to customize our visual reports. And to get started, we're going to come back up here to the Reports menu, go down to Visual Reports, go back to our favorite report, the Budget Cost Report, and then down below the Select Level of Usage Data to include in the report. Again, you can choose whatever you want. I'm going to choose Quarters. Click on the View button to dump it into Excel. And then when you want to customize this, again, I'm only going to show you just a little bit on how to customize this in Excel because I've got a whole slew of Excel training videos that will help you out when it comes to your pivot table, pivot charts, or just even charts. If you're not concerned about learning how to pivot between information, go ahead and select the chart here, and then it brings up the pivot table field list. And not only that, but you can look up at the top and you can see its 4 related contextual tabs, the Design, Layout, Format, and Analyze, all associated to what I have selected here on the chart. Now if this is just a little bit too big for you, you can come down here and drag the slider or the zoom bar down a little bit to maybe 80% so it kind of fits in there. So we can see our pivot field list over to the right and not have the chart hiding behind it. Well, in any case, let's come up here and click on the Related Design tab to our chart. And let's come up here to our chart styles group, and if we don't like the light blue, maybe you want something fancy, orange, click on it. Looks pretty nice. Now you'll notice over here in the field list, those boxes that are checked are what is displaying over here in the chart. So you can see baseline cost up here. There's the baseline cost, and it's got a lighter shade of orange. When you hover over it, you get your little pop-up note that says this is the baseline cost. And then over here, hover over it, the budget cost. In any case, if I want to be able to try other options, again, watching my training videos on pivot table, pivot charts will help you out a little bit, but I'm going to go ahead and scroll down. And over here, I'm going to check resources. And I don't know if you can see it, it's a little bit cramped down below, but basically, the chart is displaying the cost data with each resource when I check the resource. So if I go ahead and close out of the pivot field list, and maybe I can click and drag and stretch this open. There we go, we can see it a little bit more so now. There's editor, and when you hover over the bar, it's displaying the cost with the editor here. The value is $320. I'm going to come back up here and click on the Analyze tab and bring up my field list here. Let's go back over here, scroll down a bit, and check Type. Now remember, we have 4 different types of resources. So let's see if this makes sense. We have our work type, material resources, our cost resources. So what you're looking at here, when it's not all crammed together, we have our editor, the actual resource, the type of resource that he is, work, and then of course the relationship here is to the cost of $320. So again, we'll keep it simple here as far as checking what we want to see over here in the chart and what we don't want to. And note that what we check here not only affects the chart, but if you go to the data sheet here, it also affects the data here, because in order to create the chart, it's going to be based on some sort of data, and it's the data here on the Assignment Usage Worksheet tab. So what we change here by checking and unchecking here will also affect the chart. So here, over in the pivot table, instead of coming over here and unchecking and checking boxes, let's actually do some filtering of our own by clicking on the Resources drop-down arrow, uncheck Select All, and say that the only resources that we want to see within the chart or within the table here is, let's say, Editor 1 and maybe Writer 1, Writer 2, click OK. What you see here, what we filtered, will also be displayed over in the chart. So let's come over here and click on the chart worksheet, Updates. There we go. It's a lot cleaner without all those resources, right? So we have Editor 1, the resource type is that he's work, and here's what we have set for the baseline cost versus what our cost is, which is $1,280, and what we actually have entered in so far, $160. Basically that's it. So when you're sending this over to somebody, you could set it up for them if you understand a little bit about what I've shown you here, and then just save it, send it to them in an email. Now in the next training video, the final video on visual reports, we'll be learning how to create a visual report template. In other words, instead of coming over here and unchecking and checking things over and over again, how about if you set up a template with what you like and have it checked here and set up the way you like it, save it as a template, so anytime you create a new visual report, you got your defaults here and not having to go through and recheck or uncheck things every single time you create a visual report. Thanks for watching. Hey, as a quick reminder, if you like my video, please give it a thumbs up. You can also click on me and subscribe to my channel, get notified of the latest videos, and for only $2 a month, you can have access to all my Microsoft Office training videos.